What's going on YouTube? What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Yo, I want to get right into this. It's been a long time since y'all seen this type of video from me, like a reaction video. But shout out to Anti-Daniels, shout out to him. Shout out to that brother. Just seen him reacting to this on his channel, and like I said, I know it's been a long time just, but this was crazy, bro. Like, and I got my input, but I'm about to play it. We're gonna get right into it.
Here's the thing, white people have been under attack for years. It's been systematic racism. As much as black people and people of color want to talk about systematic racism in the United States, it's quite the opposite. They get preferential treatment when it comes to getting a job, when it comes to getting into colleges. White people, on the other hand, have been getting attacked relentlessly. Look at 2016 and BLM and all the riots. We just had to sit back and watch people burn down our cities and do nothing about it. So the way to fight back against essentially this anti-white hatred that's been systemically, ingrained in U.S. society is with white unity. We don't see white unity on our side.
Hang on. Okay, but hang on. Sorry, just to be clear, this has got nothing to do with anything you've just said. This is a disgusting.
Excuse me. So, all right, he's about to kind of like jump in her bootay. But the issue, so how can I put this? So Anton had preference just saying like most people are just going to go off of the title, just going to watch a couple minutes of the video before they go off and be in like their emotional bag. It's no doubt that hands down this woman is a certified racist.
It's an evil world we live in.
Hands down. Like I wouldn't be surprised, or whatever that case may be, and you could just look at her like you be like, damn, she evil. But the thing about it is she's standing on business. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this lady was a part of the KKK. I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah,
He ain't lying.
I'm saying, like, she's standing on business or whatever the case may be. Anton suggested and also preference that Peirs Morgan knows what he's doing by bringing this lady on here, knows it's going to stir the pot, get views, this, that, and the third. Basically, just rounding up content, like content farming, basically, right? So, he's not innocent because he's giving this woman a platform. Now, two things can be true at the same time. Let me tell you the main issue of what she's saying, right? So, she is right. I talk about it as a black person. What I mean by that is I talk about how we are perpetual victims. This type of individual, this is, if a person is going to be a bigot and a racist, this is who I need them to be. The reason why is that I know how to move. I know what's going on. A lot of times it's the ones in the secret rooms that's not saying nothing, that's smiling in your face, are the worst. At least with this individual, you know what it is. Like, when they talk, you know what I'm saying, they talking with, let's just, if we was turning it to a real pit thing, like they talking with vitriol. I'm gonna play a little bit more of this, but I want y'all to just think about what she's saying. And yes, she's definitely like horrible, and it's crazy because when you look at her face, you could just tell like she's standing on business, and it's like she truly is racist. But I also want y'all to hear what Myra had to say too. But I'm gonna let, I'm gonna play it some more. Then actually, after I play it some more, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit, because there's no need to hear everybody else besides, because like I said, he tried to, calling her despicable and all that stuff like that. You can't change who this individual is. And two things can be right at the same time. Do that make it right? No. But we, as especially a culture, we got to understand the things that we do and stop running in the victim Olympics. And we should be thankful for an individual like this, you know what I'm saying, because how many other, as we say, Karens is like this?
Racist woman who repeatedly spews the N word, first at a young child and then at the person taking the video of her, does it with complete impunity, does it numerous times. We are talking about a bona fide, unquestionable racist So I don't understand why what you've just said to me bears any relation to white unity or anything you've just said. She's just a racist. End, isn't she? You wouldn't dispute that.
It's not about her. It's not about her. It's about
Well, it is about her.
Coming together and supporting another white person. And it doesn't matter.
Why would you want to support a white racist?
Because I want to support free speech, and you cannot have free speech in a country.
That's fine. You can support free speech, but you also have to be accountable for what you say. Would you use the N word out of interest?
Yes.
You would?
I do quite frequently.
You use the N word quite frequently. Well, why? Other than the fact you're a despicable racist. Are you?
Some would say I am. I guess according to the ADL, I'm a white supremacist. I'm a neo-Nazi.
Yeah, but if you use the N word repeatedly, you are a racist, then are you?
Sure, I'll embrace that. If that means forwarding, helping white people achieve freedom of speech, real freedom of speech, which, by the way, Shiloh Hendricks is being attacked on all fronts. They're trying to bring legal charges against her. They're trying to get her children taken away. So you were saying Carmelo Anthony, it doesn't matter. That's a different.
Sorry, but just to be
thing.
clear, you just said to me you use the N word regularly. In what context? Do you use it with black people?
Yes, if it's appropriate.
When would it be appropriate to use the N word? When would it be appropriate?
Anytime I feel like it.
So you're an unashamed racist?
Correct.
Well, do you understand that makes you a despicable human being?
I guess so. I don't really care. Why are we not talking about Shiloh Hendricks? Why are we talking about?
Well, actually, I think you've moved it on in this debate very quickly to your own racism, which explains why you've supported her in public and why you've got all these views. You see no problem with a woman shrieking the N-word repeatedly because you yourself are a despicable racist, and you've just proudly admitted that with a smug grin on your face, which is pretty horrifying, actually, for most people to have to watch. And shame on you. You're entitled to do it, and I'm entitled to call you despicable.
Well, shame on white people for allowing themselves to be systematically discriminated against in the United States. This is our country. This is a country that should be.
What do you mean your country?
Because I'm white and my
What, there are no black people in American history? Is that what you're saying? That they've all just landed in America, invading your white country? Is that your position?
Mm-hmm. Well, they were brought here technically.
My God, do you understand how dumb you sound?
This is stupid. This is stupid and racist, and at some point we have to ask ourselves, do we want to reward this kind of disgusting behavior by platforming it?
I don't disagree, Mark. Listen, I didn't know she was going to say that.
Don't matter whether you knew she was going to say it or not. And he is a dude in the middle. I forgot his name, but he's a male feminist. A simp. Really don't want to hear from him or whatever the case may be. He's part of the problem in our community because he's one of them people that will literally sit there and push for us to run in the Victim Olympics instead of doing what we gotta do. There is like I said, two things can be right at the same time. There is truth to what she's saying, and no, that doesn't change that. Respectfully, I know you probably can't say this respectfully, but let's be honest. I'm saying this respectfully, probably just because she's a piece of shit doesn't mean the things that she's saying, some of them isn't true. So yes, she's talking about we've taken the country from her, this, that, and the third. We all know that we were slaves. We all know, but we also know, we also got knowledge that our people actually sold us to the white people that then therefore brung us over here to be slaves. So yes, we did build America. So her saying the quiet part out loud is what really makes her horrible, and the way she's saying it like she's owed something or whatever the case may be. So this is the type of individual that will probably say like, you wouldn't be here for me even though you brung us over here in the conditions that you did. That's crazy. That's crazy. But this type of individual, would you rather them be having secret meetings or talking out loud so you know how to move? We have to realize that she's just saying her quiet part out loud. One of the things she said, freedom of speech or whatever the case may be. Us, and I want y'all just to juxtapose this and really think about what I'm saying in reverse situation. Whenever black people talk about staying together, I am black. When we talk about doing stuff just for us, white people not included, Caucasian people not included, that's not deemed racist. But as she doing, I want stuff for just white people. I don't want black people. And she's using the derogatory. Well, she hadn't used it, but she said she uses it in like the derogatory term. We use that derogatory term towards each other. So we have this person just exercising her freedom of speech, even though, once again, this does not mean she isn't trash, because she is. But if it is on their end is racist, on our end is not. You got to think about that. So what once again, she's still trash, but what she's saying, she has a point. Do I rock with her? No. I want y'all to hear what Myron got to say. And even though Myron can be right, it's like he's still, as O'Shea Duke Jackson say, booty clapping and twerking for Zaddy. Because it's easy to point out this stuff. I've said on my channel pointless times or whatever, just like the situation with Lululemon. I haven't talked about it or whatever. I'm not going to talk about it. There's already enough people talking about it. But that's just another example of our culture embarrassing us. But it's like, it's easy to find that stuff. But just because that's that subsection, and it could be even, let's just say it's the majority, it's still sections that are beyond that. They're not like, they don't stoop that, they don't do that, like they're at the upper echelon of black people, black culture. But that's never praised. What's praised is the debauchery and stuff like that. And if you even go on the women that talk, it's a video of a woman saying that the reason that black men, the good black men, they're good by default. Let me wrap this up. So before we listen to the rest of this, we have to understand, just because Karen is a piece of shit, two things can be right at the same time. And if you look at the white lady all the way, the Caucasian lady all the way on the, I'm not sure if it's going to be y'all right or y'all left, but the lady all the way on the end, right next to her, she looked mortified. But who's to say, and I know this sounds crazy, but who's to say she's not thinking the same thing? Rock with me.
I don't disagree with you.
No. Yeah. I'm with you. I don't think you knew ahead of time. I'm saying at this moment, someone who's saying technically black people were, no, technically Africans were stolen, enslaved, and they built this country. And the idea that you can justify calling a baby the N word by saying that white people are losing the country.
Guys, because you've been smirking and laughing. What's funny about any of this?
Well, I mean, I find it interesting that you guys want to virtue signal and, wag the finger and say she's a racist and everything else like this.
No, she admitted she's a racist.
Well, let me
I'm not wagging a finger at anybody.
She's
I don't need to
self-identified as a racist.
Myron, with respect, Myron, I don't need to wag a finger when somebody says, yeah, I'm racist. I use the N word against black people. I don't care. That's a racist. I'm not wagging any finger. I'm not accusing anybody. She is admitting it proudly. Even you can't defend that, surely.
Everybody is racist to some degree. The reality is, it depends on, a lot of people want to be politically correct.
I could possibly agree with him, but I can't at the same time, because I'm not racist. And I may be a minority, but I'm legit not racist. So I can't, I don't agree with him. So he's wrong on that front. But let's hear what he got to say.
A lot of people want to sit there and say, I'm not racist at all. We all have biases. We all have stereotypes. We all make jokes. We all are racist to some degree. Now, how racist you are is a whole other situation, but everyone is racist. That's number one. Next thing I want to say. See, I think this Shiloh, Hendricks, and Metcalf situation is a microcosm of a much bigger problem. And that bigger problem is what I call systemic organized. And what I mean by this is, for decades, we've had black people literally running around with black supremacy, committing crimes, not getting accountability for their actions, and then they blame the system for it. For example, George Floyd, criminal. Ferguson, criminals. Freddie Gray, criminal. A lot of these people are criminals, and what ends up happening is they challenge the police officer, they get into a physical altercation, things go left, they die, something happens, use of force is utilized, and then they want to cry about the result. When in reality, it's not the police killing black people, it's black people killing black people. And if you want to talk about black on white violence, black people kill white people 2 times as much. And on top of that, most of the shootings in America, a lot of the times, are white cops killing other unarmed white men. So this whole systemic racism or police brutality, or, oh, it's all so messed up, the reality is this. Black people have been able to get away with a ridiculous amount of privilege in America for a very long time. They're able to be racist with impunity. They're able to call white people crackers without being challenged back. And quite frankly, white America's had enough of it, and the chickens have come to roost. Now, look, am I saying that's awesome? Am I saying that's great? No, but for literally the better part of almost 2 decades since the Obama era, we've had to have BLM and liberalism shoved down our throats, and quite frankly, we're all tired of it.
Right, but just to be clear,
All right, I just wanted y'all to hear some of Myron's points. Like I said, he was wrong in the beginning. As far as the BLM thing, if I'm not mistaken, they proved that was ran by white people. So his information, and so he's going off statistics. Statistics probably shows that that is probably true. That's probably really, really true, that most killings or shootings are by unarmed, quote unquote, white men shooting unarmed white men, or unarmed, or cops shooting unarmed white men. But it gets blown up when one of us are killed. As far as George Floyd and everybody he named, as far as being criminals or whatever the case may be, they could be criminals, right? Hear me out. One of the things that I noticed is, yeah, they could be criminals. They could be pieces of shit. They could have been doing whatever they was doing. But what happened that day?
Pulls up, 3-pointer. Bang! Bang! It's good. Wins the game at the buzzer.
What happened that day? Was they a criminal on that day? Or was this afraid cop, which had reason to be, or overzealous, or possibly actually racist cop, overzealous, and forgot to let up on that day? We ain't talking about the other days. So, in that being said, when you listen to somebody like Myron or whatever the case may be, and then you got this other lady, saying she uses the N word frequently, and that's not true. You cannot just call a white person a cracker, and that's the funny thing about it. Black people ain't doing that, and I'm not saying that black people don't use the word, but black people are not just going around calling white people crackers. And so, and how she's making it seem is that it's the majority. Same thing for Myron. They're making it seem like it's the majority of black people that disrespect white people, or this, that, and the third. And the funny thing about it is, her thinking is inhumane, and her being racist, that's just on her. She gonna get judgment. But two things be right at the same time, and that's why us as a culture, we have to start thinking objectively, not running victimhood, and not pay these mother effers no mind. And notice that this is what they call content farming. This shit is stirring the pot. I got a video coming out probably in the next few weeks, or however. I've been made, because y'all know how I do with my content, because by the end of next week I'll be fully monetized, and y'all gonna see the content come in and out. But I had to drop this video because it was real close, like it hit home. It's kind of triggering. Don't let these type of conversations, don't let these type of people rile you up. You know what I'm saying? We want these type of people. You get what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like we don't want the people to be sneaky. Let them show their true colors. And on that note, I'm out. Appreciate y'all, and I hope y'all have a wonderful and amazing day. And once again, it's like, damn, Myron, at some point we were like, damn, he makes some good points, but that dude, I don't think he understands the damage that he may quote unquote help men and say some good things, but at the end of the day, bro, it's way easier to look and sow negativity to a certain community opposed to actually uplift. It's okay to hold accountable and point out, but it's a certain way that you do it. And on that note, I'm out.
I was gonna rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. There's no one can stop me. Lynx is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody.